Earth was silent, but humanity was never weak. The Empire arrived with pride, but left with fear. They came to conquer, but met a power beyond imagination. The warning was ignored, and the galaxy paid the price. Humanity rose, and the stars will never forget it. For more epic stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. The galaxy was vast and filled with stars that shimmered like distant gems. Alien emissaries traveled silently through the darkness, beings of intelligence and experience beyond imagination. They had visited countless worlds and observed civilizations of every kind, yet nothing had ever alarmed them like Earth. The emissaries' communication devices trembled as they sent urgent messages to the Galactic Empire. "Avoid Earth. It is not what it seems," they cried, their voices filled with fear and desperation. Earth was an unassuming blue planet, but it held a power the galaxy had never seen. Humanity was unlike any other species, quick to adapt, clever beyond appearances, and capable of unity in ways no one could predict. In the Empire's grand command halls, enormous ships glided over holographic maps of the galaxy. The ruling council sat in confidence, analyzing Earth as if it were merely a small, inconsequential dot. Advisors spoke calmly, noting humanity's limited technology and scattered nations. They saw the alien warnings as exaggeration and hysteria. The council had conquered countless worlds, defeated civilizations claiming to be extraordinary. Why would Earth be any different? Arrogance and pride blinded them to the truth. The alien emissaries continued their desperate pleas, sending wave after wave of messages, filled with simulations of what could happen if the Empire ignored the warning. They described humanity's surprising ingenuity, adaptability, and strategic thinking. They showed examples of human satellites that had already puzzled their scouts, small skirmishes where humans had outsmarted their observers. Every warning carried urgency, yet the Empire dismissed them as overreactions. They laughed at the idea that humans could ever pose a threat. One elder emissary, wise and respected among its kind, tried a different approach, projecting vivid images directly into the Empire's communication network, holograms of Earth's cities, advanced technologies hidden in secrecy, fleets capable of precision strikes, even simulations of humans outmaneuvering alien ships. The council watched with mild curiosity, some amused. One officer scoffed, saying, "These creatures cannot even unite among themselves. How can they threaten us?" The emissary's tone grew desperate, but the council's pride hardened like steel. Unknown to the Empire, humans were quietly preparing for the unknown. Scientists and visionaries suspected other civilizations existed. Secret programs explored the mysteries of space. Humanity's potential was growing in silence. The alien warnings reflected a truth the Empire could not see. Earth was far from ordinary, yet those who dismissed it remained oblivious. The aliens' messages were more than warnings. They were pleas for caution, reminders of humanity's unpredictable nature. Every simulation showed humans overcoming impossible odds with creativity and determination. Yet the Empire treated it as fantasy, a story with no consequences, confident that no species from a small, seemingly insignificant planet could threaten them. As the emissaries prepared to leave, defeated by the Empire's stubborn pride, they recorded their warnings in secret archives, hoping some future generation might remember, might heed their lessons. The emptiness of space echoed with their sorrow and fear. They knew the Empire's mistake would be catastrophic. Earth floated quietly in the void, unaware of the attention it had drawn. Yet within its surface, seeds of extraordinary power were growing, waiting for the moment when the Empire would finally recognize them. The aliens' last words reverberated through the stars, carried on beams of light and energy. "Avoid Earth," they cried one final time, a warning that went unheeded. The Empire's confidence remained unshaken, believing the universe would continue as it always had. Yet quietly, the threads of an incredible story were already forming, shaping a future no one could yet imagine, the fate of the galaxy shifting with each passing moment. The Galactic Empire moved with confidence as its fleets prepared to invade Earth, massive ships glinting in the cold emptiness of space. The Council believed that the blue planet posed no real threat. Their advisors assured them that humans were primitive, divided, and easily defeated. Simulations in the Empire's war rooms showed Earth's defenses collapsing quickly. Their arrogance blinded them to any possibility that the alien emissaries' warnings might be true. Commanders drew detailed attack plans, assigning squadrons to strategic points around the planet. They discussed troop landings, orbital bombardments, and the swift occupation of major cities, all under the assumption that victory would be immediate and uncontested. The Empire's intelligence units studied human technology superficially, focusing only on weapons that could challenge their ships directly. They ignored subtle signs of innovation, advancements in artificial intelligence, robotics, and energy systems that humans had developed secretly. Analysts reported that Earth had no interstellar fleets, no planetary defense shields, and no way to coordinate a meaningful resistance. The Council laughed at the thought of humans mounting any serious defense. Their pride made them blind to the possibility that appearances could be deceiving. Admirals convened to review the invasion strategy, discussing orbital patterns, supply routes, and potential resistance from human military forces. They assumed that humans would be unprepared, that confusion and panic would make them easy targets. The alien emissaries' warnings were dismissed as fear-mongering. The Empire treated Earth as just another minor conquest. Yet small inconsistencies in intelligence reports began to surface. Strange anomalies in satellite data and unexplained signals from Earth hinted at a hidden complexity. These were noted briefly but dismissed. The Council's overconfidence left them unprepared for anything beyond their expectations. Meanwhile, across Earth, humans continued their quiet preparations, unaware that the Empire's fleets were already on their way. Scientists, engineers, and strategists had been developing advanced defense systems for decades. Hidden research stations and secret bases dotted the globe. Unknown to outsiders, humanity's preparations were meticulous, focusing on speed, coordination, and adaptability. They had studied possible threats from beyond their solar system, building weapons and fleets capable of surprising even the most advanced alien civilizations. While the Empire assumed ignorance, humans had been readying themselves for an eventual confrontation that the galaxy never expected. The Empire launched preliminary reconnaissance missions, small scout ships moving toward Earth to gather intelligence. Human sensors detected these ships almost immediately, analyzing their movements and gathering data. Humans observed, studied, and prepared countermeasures without revealing their true strength. Every encounter, every minor skirmish, showed glimpses of the humans' ingenuity. The Empire dismissed these as coincidences or minor annoyances, never realizing that each small observation was part of a larger, coordinated plan. The humans' patience and discipline were quietly preparing them for the coming storm. In the Empire's council chambers, pride and hubris dominated discussions. Some advisors began to wonder if perhaps the alien emissaries had been exaggerating. A few quietly voiced concerns, but their opinions were ignored. The Council's confidence was absolute. Earth was simply too small and disorganized to present any real challenge. They calculated timelines, resource allocations, and victory probabilities, believing that no intelligence, no strategy, no hidden potential on Earth could alter the outcome. Every decision was based on assumptions of weakness, assumptions that would soon prove disastrously wrong. Ships were deployed in formation, fleets traveling silently through hyperspace toward Earth. Military protocols were reviewed. Captains and admirals prepared to follow orders without question. The Empire's command structure was disciplined and rigid. Yet, this rigidity became a weakness, as it left no room to anticipate or adapt to the unexpected strategies that humans had been developing in secret. The emissaries' warnings were all but forgotten, labeled as the fears of a lesser species. The Council remained blind to the seeds of disaster growing quietly on that distant blue planet. As the invasion fleets approached Earth, the galaxy itself seemed unaware of the drama about to unfold. Stars continued to shine indifferently, planets spun silently, and comets streaked across the void. Yet Earth was ready in ways the Empire could not imagine. Every move of the invaders would be observed, countered, and challenged. Humanity's hidden preparations, intelligence, and unity were the foundation of a response that would soon shock the arrogant Empire. The stage was set. The Empire's confidence would collide with the unexpected, and the true power of Earth would be revealed. The moment of reckoning was drawing near, and no one in the Council suspected the scale of the challenge awaiting them. Humans had been preparing in secret for centuries, quietly building technologies and strategies that no one outside their world could imagine. Scientists, engineers, and military strategists worked together in hidden facilities, designing fleets, weapons, and defense systems that could protect their planet against the most powerful invaders. Every research project, every test, was part of a carefully planned network. Intelligence agencies coordinated globally, ensuring that humanity remained unnoticed while growing stronger. Even the smallest discoveries, the tiniest improvements in energy efficiency or artificial intelligence, were integrated into larger plans that would one day defend Earth. Underground bases, remote islands, and orbiting stations served as laboratories and training grounds, where humans perfected advanced spacecraft and unmanned drones capable of precision strikes. Engineers developed energy shields, stealth technology, and communication systems that could not be intercepted. Every system was designed to anticipate, react, and act faster than any enemy could. While the Galactic Empire assumed humanity was primitive, humans had been quietly mastering the art of war, combining technology with strategy, intelligence, and human ingenuity. Humanity's preparation was not just technical, but also strategic and psychological. Leaders studied the galaxy, analyzing potential threats and predicting how more advanced civilizations might behave. Simulations were run over and over, testing human responses to invasions, occupations, and attacks. They learned to coordinate across continents, to act as one species despite differences in language, culture, and politics. Every citizen, even unknowingly, contributed to this preparation, whether through education, research, or technological development. Every small step added to a network that could respond to a threat that the galaxy did not believe existed. Advanced fleets were secretly assembled, hidden from satellites and scanners. Ships of all sizes capable of long-range maneuvers and powerful attacks were placed in waiting positions around Earth. Automated defense systems were programmed to protect critical areas. Human pilots trained in tactics that could outsmart much larger and more technologically advanced enemy forces. The humans' understanding of strategy, combined with their adaptability, made them an unpredictable and formidable opponent. In addition to technology and military preparation, humans worked to understand themselves and each other. Psychological training and simulations taught leaders and pilots how to anticipate enemy behavior, how to exploit weaknesses, and how to remain calm under pressure. Teamwork became second nature, and coordination reached a level no alien species had ever seen. Humans were learning to think and act as a single intelligent organism, each individual contributing to the success of the whole. Secret communication networks connected hidden bases, research facilities, and fleets, ensuring that information could flow instantly across the planet and into orbit. No signal could be intercepted by alien scouts. Every move could be monitored and adapted in real time. Humans had prepared not just for direct combat, but also for the unseen, anticipating espionage, sabotage, and misinformation. Every scenario the Empire might imagine had been considered, countered, and integrated into a larger plan. As the Galactic Empire advanced toward Earth, the humans continued to refine their systems, performing final tests, simulations, and drills. They understood that appearances could be deceiving, that the galaxy believed them weak and disorganized, and that this underestimation was their greatest advantage. Patience became a weapon, secrecy their shield, and preparation their sword. Every piece of technology, every tactical maneuver, and every human mind was aligned toward one goal: protecting Earth. By the time the first alien scouts neared the solar system, humanity was ready. Not just with weapons, but with knowledge, coordination, and strategies that the Empire could never have predicted. Humans could strike with precision, react with speed, and adapt with creativity. No invasion plan would go unchallenged. Every element of the Empire's arrogance and overconfidence would be exposed. The humans' centuries of preparation were about to confront the galaxy's most powerful military, and the true power of Earth, hidden and underestimated for so long, was finally ready to reveal itself. Every hidden facility, every trained pilot, every advanced weapon and fleet was part of a larger story that the universe had yet to witness. Humans had transformed their planet into a force capable of defending itself, of surprising the mightiest invaders, and of rewriting the rules of the galaxy. The stage was set for a confrontation that would challenge the assumptions of the Galactic Empire and prove that humanity was far from ordinary. The era of the underestimated species was about to begin, and nothing in the galaxy would ever see it coming. As the first fleets of the Galactic Empire entered the solar system, humans quietly observed their approach. Every sensor, telescope, and satellite scanning the ships with precision. The Empire's commanders were confident that Earth would be easy to conquer. They expected chaos, fear, and swift surrender. But what they did not anticipate was the extraordinary level of preparation humanity had achieved. Hidden fleets, automated defense systems, and advanced tactics were ready. Every human move carefully calculated to counter the Empire's arrogance. The Empire's scouts moved closer to the planet, analyzing Earth's surface for military targets and infrastructure. Humans detected each movement almost immediately, observing patterns and predicting next steps. Automated drones and satellite arrays relayed information to hidden command centers. Humans were learning the enemy as much as the enemy believed they were learning humanity. Every miscalculation by the invaders was noted and prepared for. The precision of human intelligence surprised even their own leaders, who had remained calm despite centuries of preparation. When the first attack began, it was unlike anything the Empire had ever faced. Human defense systems activated in perfect synchronization. Orbital platforms deployed shields and intercept drones. Fleets hidden in deep space moved into strategic positions without warning. Even the most advanced alien scanners could not detect the full scope of humanity's readiness. Entire squadrons of Empire ships were caught off guard, their calculations and strategies failing against the unexpected precision and coordination of Earth's defenses. The Empire's commanders watched in disbelief as their supposedly simple invasion faltered. Simulations had not prepared them for this level of strategy and adaptability. Human pilots maneuvered with creativity and courage, targeting weak points in alien formations while avoiding direct confrontation with superior firepower. Automated systems calculated angles, speeds, and trajectories in seconds, striking with efficiency that left the invaders stunned. Every loss for the Empire was a reminder that humans were not ordinary, their apparent simplicity hiding a tactical genius born of centuries of preparation and ingenuity. Communication across the Empire's fleets became chaotic as unexpected losses mounted. Commanders attempted to regroup and coordinate, but humans anticipated each move, countering with precision strikes and decoys. Minor skirmishes turned into devastating defeats. Even a single human-controlled station could disable multiple enemy ships simultaneously. The Empire's pride and overconfidence were slowly crumbling. They realized, too late, that Earth's inhabitants were capable of more than they had ever imagined. In secret command centers on Earth, humans monitored every engagement, analyzing data and adjusting strategies in real time. Every action of the Empire was observed, predicted, and countered. Humans were not just defending, they were teaching a lesson in strategy and adaptability. The speed of their response, the efficiency of their coordination, and the intelligence behind each move showed the depth of their preparation. The Empire had assumed ignorance and weakness, but humans were proving that assumption dangerously wrong. The galaxy itself watched in silence, distant civilizations observing the first real conflict between humans and the Empire. The alien emissaries who had warned the Council felt a quiet vindication, their fears validated by the unexpected display of human capability. What the Empire had ignored as a minor warning now unfolded as a revelation. Humans were not to be underestimated. Their ability to react, adapt, and strike precisely was reshaping the very idea of strength in the galaxy. Despite the chaos of battle, humans remained calm, disciplined, and united. No panic, no hesitation. Every pilot, strategist, and automated system acted in perfect harmony. The Empire's overwhelming numbers meant little against such coordination. Every misstep by the invaders was an opportunity seized by humans. The tide of the first engagement had already turned, demonstrating that preparation, intelligence, and unity could overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. The first contact between humans and the Empire ended not with annihilation, but with shock. The invaders were forced to retreat from initial engagements, suffering losses and confusion. Earth had not only defended itself, but had revealed the hidden depth of its power. The lesson was clear. Humans were not weak, primitive, or unorganized. They were intelligent, adaptive, and fully prepared for the moment when the galaxy would underestimate them. As the Empire regrouped, human fleets remained hidden but ready, analyzing the enemy, planning the next moves, and ensuring that every subsequent encounter would be met with precision. The first contact had been a warning, a demonstration of what humanity was capable of. The blue planet that had seemed so ordinary now stood as a force to be reckoned with, and the Empire's confidence had begun to crack. The battle for the galaxy's perception of humanity had only just begun. Humans did not wait for the Empire to make another move. Their counterattack began with precision and planning that the invaders could never have imagined. Fleets hidden across the solar system moved into position. Drones and automated systems targeted supply lines, communication networks, and command centers with extraordinary accuracy. Humans struck not just to defend, but to teach a lesson in strategy. Every move was calculated, every action designed to exploit the arrogance and overconfidence of the Empire. Alien commanders were shocked when entire squadrons were disabled or destroyed by attacks they had considered impossible. Humans anticipated every maneuver, adapting in real time to counter the invaders' strategies. Ships that had assumed superiority were forced to retreat, their formations scattered. The Empire's technology and numbers meant little against human intelligence, adaptability, and coordination. Each strike demonstrated that humans were not only capable of defending their planet, but of turning the tide of battle decisively. The counterattack unfolded on multiple fronts, with human forces targeting orbital platforms, hyperspace relay stations, and vital supply routes. The precision of the attacks left the Empire struggling to maintain cohesion. Human pilots executed maneuvers that alien commanders could not predict, often using deception and feints to lure enemy ships into vulnerable positions. The Empire had believed humans to be primitive, unorganized, and slow to react. Yet every encounter proved them wrong. Humans were fast, intelligent, and fearless. In addition to military strategy, humans used technological innovation to their advantage. Cloaked ships appeared suddenly in key locations. Energy shields absorbed attacks meant to destroy them. And automated drones struck with pinpoint accuracy. The combination of advanced technology, strategic thinking, and coordination made humans an unstoppable force. Even the Empire's most experienced admirals could not understand how such a small, supposedly primitive species could execute such complex and effective operations. On the ground, humans had prepared for possible planetary strikes, but the Empire never reached that stage. Every orbital attack was neutralized before it could reach populated areas. Humans had integrated defensive systems with offensive capabilities, turning potential threats into opportunities. Every engagement served to weaken the invaders while preserving human lives and infrastructure. The skill and efficiency of the human counterattack began to demoralize the Empire's forces, shaking the confidence of even the most disciplined officers. The counterattack also demonstrated humanity's ability to coordinate across vast distances. Ships, drones, and stations communicated instantly through encrypted channels. Every action was part of a larger plan. While the Empire struggled to maintain order and control, humans moved as one, adapting to the evolving situation. The intelligence, creativity, and discipline of humanity became clear, showing that Earth's inhabitants were far more capable than the galaxy had ever imagined. As the Empire's fleets retreated and regrouped, humans pressed their advantage, striking key targets repeatedly, cutting off supplies, disabling command ships, and disrupting communication lines. Every counterstrike was executed with careful precision, designed to maximize impact while minimizing risk. Alien ships that had once believed themselves untouchable were now vulnerable, and every victory reinforced the message that humans were not to be underestimated. Across the galaxy, distant observers watched in awe as humans demonstrated tactics, coordination, and intelligence that rivaled or exceeded the most advanced civilizations. The alien emissaries who had warned the Empire felt a quiet satisfaction. Their fears validated. Humans had not only defended their world, but had revealed their true strength, their ability to fight back, adapt, and overcome impossible odds. The perception of humanity as weak and primitive was being shattered. The Empire, stunned by the precision and effectiveness of the human counterattack, realized too late that it had underestimated a species that had prepared for centuries. Every assumption about Earth and its inhabitants had been proven wrong. Pride and arrogance turned into confusion and fear. The Empire had encountered a force it could not control or predict. A force that combined strategy, intelligence, and courage in ways they had never witnessed. By the end of the first phase of the counterattack, humans had achieved more than defense. They had taken the initiative, forcing the Empire to react, adjust, and retreat. Earth was no longer a passive target, but an active participant in the battle. And every victory signaled that humanity had arrived as a power in its own right. The once dismissed blue planet had revealed its hidden strength, leaving the Empire to confront the shocking reality that they were facing a species capable of defending itself and challenging the galaxy's most powerful forces. The Empire's fleet approached Earth with full confidence, their ships spreading across space like a metal curtain. Every commander believed this mission would be simple. They thought humans were weak and far behind in technology. The Supreme Commander stood inside the flagship's control chamber, watching the blue planet grow larger on the holographic display. He felt proud, certain that no force on this small world could challenge the might of the Empire. But somewhere deep inside him, a quiet doubt formed, a whisper he tried to ignore, warning him that Earth might not be as ordinary as it looked. As the fleet moved deeper into Earth's orbit, strange technical issues began to appear. Radar screens flickered, communication channels vanished and reappeared. Entire systems reset without any command. Engineers checked everything again and again, but found no fault in the machinery. Everything was working perfectly, and yet failing at the same time. Commanders tried to control their fear, insisting it was only interference from Earth. But the unease spread through the fleet like a cold wind. Something about this planet felt different, something they could not explain. Without warning, every screen across the entire fleet lit up with a single message written in English. "We see you." Soldiers gasped, officers froze, and the Supreme Commander stared at the glowing words in disbelief. This message was impossible. Their systems were sealed, protected by technology far beyond anything known in the galaxy. No species had ever managed to break into the Empire's network. Yet someone from Earth had done it with ease. The commander tried to reassure his crew, claiming it was only a trick. But even he could not stop the fear rising inside him. The Empire prepared to launch its first strike. Weapons powered up, engines roared, targeting systems locked onto Earth. The air inside the fleet filled with anxiety. Soldiers held their breath, waiting for the order. But before the commander could say a single word, every weapon in the fleet shut down. Engines stopped, shields vanished. The ships drifted silently as if frozen in time. Alarms rang across the halls. Engineers shouted that they had lost all control. It felt as though an invisible force had wrapped the entire fleet in its grip, holding them still above the calm blue planet. Then something even more shocking happened. A massive energy signal emerged from deep within Earth, rising slowly like a giant awakening from centuries of sleep. The Empire's sensors screamed warnings louder than ever before. The power readings were beyond anything the Empire had recorded throughout the galaxy. Far stronger than their most advanced weapons, far more complex than any alien technology they had ever faced. The Supreme Commander finally understood why other species had begged them not to come here. But now, it was too late. The Empire had awakened something they were not prepared to face. A wave of bright energy burst outward from Earth, not like a weapon, but like a scanning pulse. It passed through every Empire ship, shaking them from the inside. Soldiers grabbed onto walls to keep from falling. Screens flashed as strange lines of code filled them. Systems turned on and off by themselves. Weapons moved without receiving orders. Engines activated independently. The fleet was no longer under the Empire's control. Something or someone from Earth had taken over. And then the human ships appeared. Dozens of them at first, then hundreds, surrounding the Empire fleet in total silence. Their designs were unlike anything the Empire recognized. Smooth, silent, impossible to track. Bending light around them as if they were shadows of the void. They moved with perfect precision, not wasting a single movement. They looked like hunters who had been waiting patiently for their prey. The Empire soldiers felt their confidence collapse. They finally understood that humans were not hiding because they were weak. They were hiding because they were ready. One human ship approached the Empire's flagship, its presence filling the entire view screen. A transmission opened automatically. The Supreme Commander saw a human commander with steady eyes and a calm expression. There was no anger, no fear, only certainty. The human spoke one sentence that felt like a blade cutting through the room. "You should have listened to the warning." Those words struck the commander harder than any weapon, because he knew they were true. The Empire had ignored every warning, and now they were trapped. Fear spread through the fleet as they realized the truth. They had not come to conquer Earth. They had walked into a trap crafted by a species far more intelligent, far more prepared, and far more dangerous than they ever imagined. Humans were no longer the small, insignificant race the Empire believed them to be. They were something far greater, and now Earth was rising right in front of them, ready to show the galaxy what humanity truly was. The tension inside the Empire's fleet grew heavier with each passing second. Their once powerful ships now floated helplessly in Earth's orbit, controlled by a force they could not understand. Fear spread among the soldiers like a silent wave. They had trained for war, for battles across galaxies, but nothing had prepared them for this. The Supreme Commander stood frozen, watching the human fleet surround them with calm precision. The humans moved with quiet confidence. Not rushing, not hesitating, as if everything was happening exactly as they had planned for years. Human ships sent out a new signal, this one gentle but impossible to block. It slipped into every Empire screen, every helmet, every communication device. A voice echoed in clear English, firm and unshaken. "We warned you. Earth is not your enemy, but you chose to make us one." The words carried no anger, only truth, and that truth shook the Empire more than any weapon could. The soldiers exchanged nervous glances, realizing humanity had never wanted war. They had only wanted to be left alone, but now the Empire had forced their hand. The Supreme Commander tried to give orders, but the control panels refused to obey. Lights blinked with strange patterns. Codes the Empire could not decode moved across the screens like living creatures. Some officers tried overriding the system, but every attempt failed. It felt as though the ships had become living machines under Earth's command. The fleet no longer belonged to the Empire. They were passengers trapped inside their own metal giants, unable to change their fate. Suddenly, Earth itself reacted. Massive structures hidden beneath the planet's surface rose slowly, pushing through oceans, deserts, and mountains. These were not human cities. They were something older, something built long before the Empire ever knew this world existed. Giant towers of metal and energy pierced the sky, glowing with light so bright it illuminated space. The Empire's soldiers stared in shock, unable to believe what they were seeing. Humans were advanced, but these structures looked ancient, powerful, and beyond anything in the Empire's knowledge. It felt as though Earth had been waiting for this moment for centuries. From these colossal towers, another energy wave spread out, softer this time, slow and controlled. It wrapped around the human ships and then reached the Empire fleet. As it passed through them, soldiers felt a strange sensation, like someone was looking directly into their minds, reading their intentions, measuring their fear. The Supreme Commander felt exposed, like every secret of the Empire was being revealed to this unseen force. He finally realized the truth they had ignored for so long. Earth was not just a planet. It was a fortress, a hidden superpower disguised as a simple world. Moments later, a new figure appeared on the Empire's main screen. It was not a human commander this time. It was an elderly human scientist with calm, wise eyes. He seemed peaceful, yet his presence demanded respect. He looked at the Supreme Commander without hostility, only sadness, and he spoke in a soft voice. "You came here with the belief that might gives you the right to rule. But strength is not measured by power alone. It is measured by wisdom, understanding, and restraint. If we wanted war, you would have been destroyed the moment you arrived." The commander's heart sank deeper with every word. Humanity had shown mercy, something the Empire rarely offered. The scientist continued, explaining what the Empire could never imagine. Humanity had discovered ancient technology beneath Earth long ago, a technology older than the Empire, older than many galaxies. They had spent generations studying it, learning from it, preparing quietly for the day someone might threaten their world. Humans were not hiding because they were weak. They were hiding because they were protecting something far greater than themselves, something powerful enough to reshape the balance of the galaxy. Then the scientists said something that shook the entire Empire fleet. "We did not want to use this power, but your attack left us no choice. Now you must decide. Return to your empire and warn them, or stay and face consequences you are not ready for." Silence filled the fleet. The Supreme Commander felt his confidence crumble completely. Every soldier felt the same fear, the same realization that they had made the greatest mistake in their history. They had underestimated the one species they should have feared the most. Human ships slowly moved closer, not in aggression but in warning, each ship glowing with controlled power. The Empire soldiers felt their breath shorten, knowing any wrong move could end everything. The Supreme Commander finally lowered his head, understanding there was no victory here. There was no fight to win. Earth had risen as a force unlike any in the galaxy, and the Empire now stood on the edge of destruction. Their fate hanging in the hands of the very species they once believed was weak. Humanity had proven itself, and now the galaxy would never be the same again. The silence inside the Empire's fleet felt heavier than the vacuum of space itself. Every soldier sensed that the next few moments would decide not only their lives, but the fate of their entire empire. The human ships surrounding them glowed with quiet strength, unmoving yet powerful, like guardians of an ancient secret. The Supreme Commander stared at the screens, unable to believe that everything he once knew about power, control, and dominance had been shattered in front of Earth, a planet he once considered weak and insignificant. A soft vibration pulsed through every Empire ship, gentle but impossible to ignore. The screens brightened again, showing a new message from Earth. This time, it was not a warning, not a threat, but a choice. Leave or learn. The words appeared in every language stored within the fleet's system, suggesting that humans had already accessed the entire Empire database. The soldiers whispered among themselves, terrified of what learning might mean, though equally afraid of what would happen if they refused. The Supreme Commander felt cornered like never before, stripped of power, stripped of certainty, facing a species that understood them better than they understood themselves. Earth then released another controlled energy wave, passing through each Empire ship with perfect precision. But this wave felt different. Instead of shutting systems down, it restored them. The engines glowed faintly. The shields flickered back to life. Weapons reconnected, but with one crucial difference. The Empire could not fire them. The ships could move but not attack. It was a warning wrapped inside mercy, a reminder that humans could disable everything again in an instant. Many soldiers felt a strange mix of relief and fear, grateful to have control, but terrified by how easily humans could take it back. Below them, Earth's ancient structures, now fully activated, pulsed with steady light as if guarding the entire planet. The humans had awakened technology that could rewrite the galaxy's understanding of power. The Supreme Commander watched in awe as the towers connected with beams of light, forming a massive shield around Earth, a shield stronger than anything in the Empire's arsenal. He realized that even if the Empire had brought 10 times its current fleet, they would have still failed. Earth was untouchable, protected by both humans and the ancient force beneath their world. The transmission opened again, and the same elderly scientist appeared, his expression calm, his eyes holding both weariness and wisdom. He said words the Empire would never forget. "We do not wish to destroy you, but we cannot allow threats to our world. You thought Earth was sleeping, but we were preparing for those who believe fear is the path to control." The Supreme Commander felt crushed by the truth in those words. Earth had not been hiding. Earth had been watching, waiting, and learning, while the Empire had grown arrogant and blind, believing themselves masters of the galaxy. The scientist continued, offering something the Empire never expected, a chance for peace, a chance to understand Earth instead of conquering it. He spoke of sharing knowledge, learning from one another, building a future where strength was not measured by weapons, but by wisdom, cooperation, and unity. The Empire soldiers looked at each other in disbelief. Humans were offering them a path that no other species had ever offered. The Supreme Commander felt conflicted, ashamed of coming to Earth with war, yet grateful that humanity had chosen mercy over destruction. The fleet's officers debated quietly. Some wanted to return to the Empire immediately, fearing Earth's unknown power. Others believed they should accept the offer and learn, knowing their empire had reached a point where strength alone could not sustain them. But the final decision rested with the Supreme Commander. He closed his eyes for a moment, remembering the alien warnings, the ignored pleas, the arrogance that had led them here. And when he opened his eyes again, he felt different, humbled, changed, aware now that the Empire's way of ruling through fear could not continue. He spoke clearly, broadcasting his voice across the fleet and to Earth. "We choose to learn." A silence followed, deep and heavy. Then the human scientist nodded slowly, and the stars around them seemed to breathe again. Earth's ships lowered their weapons. The ancient structures dimmed slightly, and the energy fields softened, allowing the Empire fleet to move freely, without threat, without force. For the first time since their arrival, the tension in space began to fade, replaced by something new, a fragile hope. Earth guided the Empire ships to a safe orbit, establishing a peaceful channel of communication. Soldiers who once came to conquer now watched in awe as humans shared glimpses of technology older than galaxies, wisdom shaped by struggle, creativity, and unity. The Supreme Commander realized that Earth had not only saved its own future, but had changed the Empire's future as well. The galaxy would never fear Earth again. Instead, it would respect humanity in ways no one had believed possible. The Empire had come to conquer, but instead, they found truth, power, and a new path. And Earth stood proudly as the world that changed the galaxy forever.